Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So Dr. Otaigbe, tell me what's been happening your way? How have you been managing during this time, during the pandemic and life being so different?
Well, some people call it adversity, right? That
Yeah.
that these are difficult times. 2020 was difficult for everyone.
Yeah.
And how how did I cope? How am I still coping?
Hmm.
Using mental techniques
Hmm.
that I blog about every day on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Um, Adversity simply means difficult times.
Hmm.
Some people call it crisis.
Yeah.
Crisis.
Yeah.
And how do I adjust? How do I deal with the crisis of 2020 slash 2021? Uh, I remind myself of the Chinese saying that crisis is really danger and opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a crisis like what we have been going through with this COVID-19 uh, is very
Hmm.
dangerous virus.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are opportunities that we can take advantage of,
Yeah.
like what we are doing right now. This is the new normal, and this will be a part of the way forward.
Hmm.
That we don't have to meet in person to really make a difference.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I also I remind myself of the story that is all over the place about a man who was very sad that he doesn't have shoes. He has no shoes. His biggest problem was no shoes
Yeah.
until he ventured outside and saw a man who had no feet. No.
Wow.
And he said, "Whoa, how selfish can I be? I'm here sad, depressed that I don't
Hmm.
have shoes. Here's a man who's happy, but he doesn't have feet."
Yeah.
And so I remind myself of that.
Yeah.
I also think of what the great Napoleon Hill said about adversity, about challenges. That if we look deep enough, that every adversity, uh, every failure has a seed of opportunity embedded in it,
Mm.
and we just have to look deeply and find it.
Yeah. I love that. Has a seed of opportunity.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Wow.
mm-hmm.
I love that, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So
So, Doc, so I
yeah,
know you to be a professor,
yes,
storyteller, and author, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
This is what you do. You tell stories all over social media. I
yeah,
can only imagine what it's like sitting around your home, right? Growing up as one of your children, listening to you drop wisdom all the time.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I want to know just a bit about you and know where that came from.
Oh, that's a good question. Um, Traditional African society. When I was growing up, uh, you know, I tell children when I talk to children, I tell them I was lucky I didn't have television.
Hmm.
I was lucky there was no iPhone. I was lucky no Nintendo to play.
Yeah.
But what we did at night was to gather around, and the elderly folks will tell us folk tales, tell us
Hmm.
stories, and we use our imagination. And my mom was very instrumental in this.
Mhm.
She made sure that I learned all the many of the African proverbs
Mhm.
um, and stories. Mhm. So I give credit to the elderly folks in the village I grew up in Africa,
Mhm.
and my mom, uh, Osobayo Otaigbe. In fact, you probably will like this. If you go to Rosa Parks Elementary School,
Mhm.
the story room there is named after her.
Oh, beautiful.
So I'm very happy that she's in good company with the great Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. So
Hmm.
now what part of Africa are you from, sir?
Nigeria, West Africa, Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes, come from area called Asan land. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. Beautiful place.
Nice,
Hmm.
nice, nice. My brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, he
Hmm.
was from Nigeria, and he used to tell
Hmm.
us a lot of stories about
Oh yes.
Nigeria.
Oh
So
yes.
my niece, she is part Nigerian,
Hmm.
part African American, right?
Ah,
Um, those are her roots, and he used to tell us all these stories about Nigeria. And
yes.
you said like you use your imagination with the elders.
Yes.
I had an imagination that I was able to use as a kid as well. And when he used to
Hmm.
tell us these stories about Africa, he would
Oh.
paint the picture so beautiful and so vibrant. And
Hmm.
it was like I was visiting Africa through his
Yes.
stories.
Yes. Yes. Oh yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes. Oh
So
yeah.
and one day I hope to go, but when you said it, I was like, oh, I remember being a kid
Hmm.
sitting around when he would come to visit my sister and he would talk about Africa and I
Oh
would suck it all up, as a kid.
yes. One day you will.
Yeah,
Hmm.
one day I will. But sir, like I had an opportunity as a young kid to
Hmm.
sit around the elders and listen to them
Hmm.
talk.
Yes, your dad.
Yeah. so so between my grandmother and I've always loved sitting around my father as he spoke and I would just listen to them share their stories and their wisdom and those things shaped who I am, right? They inspired
Hmm.
me and those words stay with me still to this day and
Oh
still
yes.
motivate me through my life. And so
Yes. Yes.
I,
Yes.
I was wondering when I asked the question if that was part of your journey as well, because that is what made me who I am today.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and I can only imagine that that was a part of your
Oh yes.
upbringing,
Oh yes. I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah, I would not take anything for it.
it. Hmm. Hmm.
All right, so I went on this I don't know. I went on this kind of journey to start bringing Monday motivation to the relationship zone.
Hmm.
Here, the relationship zone, we talk about all things love, life, and relationships. Um, I believe that when we're talking about life, we're all going through something or have gone through, or we will go through.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
We need to be equipped with tools to help us get through our journey.
Hmm.
And I believe that I've been able to be successful in some of the things I've done by way of having those tools. I can dig back and I can find motivation in almost anything, to be honest with you, sir.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
there are some that will listen to us that may not have either the outlook on life, like maybe you and I may have, right? We may
Hmm.
have a more optimistic outlook on life in spite of the diversities or the adversity that we're facing. I'm sorry. But I that was the reason why I wanted to birth this motivational or this Monday motivation, right? I thought that somebody would hear it along their journey and find a hope in our message, in our conversation.
Hmm. Hmm.
So thank you again for deciding to participate in this because I believe that we're going to help someone.
Hmm.
And I believe that you're going to say something that's going to inspire all of us tonight.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I want to jump into my questions for you because tonight we're not live as usual. But I still believe that someone's going to come across this video and they're going to leave us a comment, and I may have to reach out to you to get an answer. So,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so one of my questions is when facing adversity, you want to find someone to blame, whether that is you or someone else. Can you share what you have learned when dealing with adverse times and situations in your life? And in fact, did you feel like you wanted to find someone to blame? Did you feel like you wanted to blame yourself? Or how did you actually cope with adversity?
Well, um, is human nature.
Yeah.
When something terrible is happening to us, we look outside, and it's natural. We look for someone to blame. We point fingers at other people. But I'll tell our listeners that don't go there. Don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible place to be. Um, we all go through difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, you just said it, that some of us are going through it right now. Right now,
Yeah.
some of us are getting ready to get into tough situations. Some of us are recovering from tough challenges, and just know that just like the clouds, these too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
These too shall pass. I remind myself when I fly before COVID-19, when you're able to fly in the airplane and visit my home country. I uh, I learn a lot from the flight,
Mm-hmm.
because once in a while the pilot will come on and say, "Okay, you know, sit down, go to your seat, tighten your seat belt. We're experiencing turbulence," and we all would go to our seats and tighten our seat belts, and the plane was shaking, 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 and after a while, what happens? You know, it goes away. The
Yeah.
turbulence goes away.
Yeah.
So, so also is life.
Mm-hmm.
We are faced with turbulence once in a while, and trust me, just like the turbulence in an airplane ride, it will go away.
Yeah.
I know it's easier said than done, but just the hope, just the belief
Mm-hmm.
is good. I believe is good for my mental well-being,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to be in the negative zone, you
Yeah.
know, because what we think about expands.
Ooh, that's
Mhm.
big, sir. What
Yeah,
we think about
expands.
expands.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
big, sir.
so if I'm all negative, negative, oh my God, with my luck, oh, this thing will not work out. Oh, look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
That's what will expand in my life.
Wow.
But if I keep hope alive, I say, hey, this too shall pass. The Lord is my shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I keep those thoughts, those wonderful thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
I think psychologists have established that when you think positive thoughts, it
Mm-hmm.
creates wonderful chemicals in our brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's better for us. So you want to be in that territory as much as possible. It's not easy, but do your best.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, oh yeah, that whole, the thing that we give the most attention to will expand in our life.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, and that is so, so true, especially when we're thinking about those negative thoughts.
Yes.
That negative energy
Yes.
will take over. It's like
Yes.
a cancer.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And,
And
and and some of us can't keep it under control,
yes.
right? We just
Yes.
and it
Yes.
just takes
Yes.
over. And no matter where they go,
Yes.
trouble follows them.
Mhm, 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 mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. It
God.
becomes self-fulfilling prophecy.
It
It just,
becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Even if it's when you're going through those tough times, even if it's just thank you, Lord, thank you,
Hmm.
just thank you. It
Yeah.
changes. It changes
Mm.
your mental well-being. That's what I have learned
Yeah.
in my life. Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
That
see, now you on my street, sir. You're talking about gratitude.
uh-huh.
We're talking about gratitude. Thank you.
Mhm.
Like no matter what's going on,
Yes, yes,
I'm
no matter what.
thankful for it all.
Yes, 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 no matter what.
Goodness. Yeah, no
No
matter
matter
what.
what.
No
It's
matter.
not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's
Not
not
easy.
because we
Not
feel the
easy.
pain. We feel the
Mhm.
heaviness. We
Yes,
feel the trauma and the
yes,
adversity that's
yes,
going on.
yes, yes. In
Mhm.
my African language of Esa, I always, I say, Akwamusenobula. Akwamusenobula means I thank God the Almighty. It's just, that's all. That's the prayer. When I'm just going through those difficult times and just, Akwamusenobula.
Mhm.
Akwamusenobula. You know, thank God.
Yeah.
I thank God Almighty. You know, it put me in that positive territory
Yeah.
that I want to be. Mm.
That's contagious, sir. So before we get to talking about gratitude, I
Mhm.
just, for the listeners, you know, like we both agree, it's easier said than done,
It's
right?
easy
It's
said than done.
I have many different tools I use, and
Mhm.
I don't always reach it. I
Yeah,
try, I don't always reach.
yeah.
Sometimes it beats me up, and tomorrow I got to get up and try again.
Hmm.
But I'll ask you, how can
Hmm.
one change their perspective when they are facing the adversity, right? When they're overwhelmed? If you could offer a tool or some tools, but I think you just offered one, which was gratitude. That's a
Gratitude,
big one.
gratitude. Mhm.
Gratitude.
Yeah, being thankful.
Yeah.
Akwamosenobula.
Yeah.
Akwamosenobula. Thank God. You know, I
Yeah.
thank God Almighty.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's one mental tool that I use. And I came across Dr. Robert Schuller's possibility thinking creed. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Please share.
yes, the great Reverend Dr. Schuller.
Yeah. Possibility thinking. Is that what you said?
Yes, yes,
I'm
possibility.
gonna look. I'm gonna give you the solo layout, and I want you to share that with us. That's good.
Yes, yes.
Possibility
Yeah, he
thinking.
called it possibility thinkers creed, and it goes like this: when faced with a mountain, I will not quit.
Mm,
I will keep on striving until I climb over,
yeah, yeah.
find a pass through it, tunnel underneath it, or simply stay and turn the mountain into a gold mine with God's help.
Hmm.
With God's help.
Wow.
Mhm.
My goodness. Now, sir, tell me, what does that mean to you when you read that? When you tell me what that means to you.
It means that mountain of troubles,
Yeah.
mountain of difficulties. When I'm faced with it, hey, let me think. Should I go over it? Should I tunnel on it?
Yeah.
You know, again, remain positive.
Hmm.
And guess what? That seed of opportunity,
Hmm.
you know, you may stumble on it. Mhm.
Yeah.
And guess what? One day you will look back and say, thank God for that difficulty. Thank God it happened. Because it
Mm,
happened, this is what I I achieved. Let me give you a very good example. My family. I came here as a student. Came to the United States as a student,
mhm.
and F1 visa is called student visa.
Okay.
And I had two children at that time, and when you are F1 visa student, your wife is F2 visa, and she's not allowed to get unemployment.
Mhm.
But we needed the money. We needed the money. And guess what? The immigration came to the restaurant where she was working,
Mhm.
and they arrested her
Oh.
and sent her and my two children back to Nigeria. It was a very difficult time for me, very difficult. But then I said, well, let me not go negative. I could go negative. I could say, hey, why me? Blame everyone.
Mhm.
But we took a positive attitude towards it. My wife and my two children, who were born here, were in Nigeria for 3 years. They reapplied and came back.
Mhm.
Came back. Guess what? They came back speaking my African language. Today, people will wonder, how did you teach your kids the African language you were born in? How? I laugh. I laugh. I laugh. I said, you don't want to know the difficulty, the crisis
Yeah.
made
They
it
learned it
possible.
out of adversity.
Yes,
They
yes.
learned it out of
So,
adversity.
so now, once in a while, I get red wine. I said, this to the Immigration and Naturalization Service. Thank you. Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so wonderful, sir. That is such a good story. So we're talking about gratitude. I might as well go there with you. Let's keep talking about it. What are your thoughts on gratitude as a whole, and why is it so important for us to have and to show and to express?
Again. You see, I just told you that
Yeah,
every morning I
yeah,
fill a glass of wine to the
absolutely.
social service because
Yeah,
it was a crisis in my life. But
yeah.
but when you look back, wow! Now my two children they speak the uh, African language,
Mm,
and my son, who was born after that, said,
mhm.
"Whoa, wait a minute here. How come the two can speak Asian language and I cannot?" So he took it upon himself to
Yeah.
learn
Mm,
to learn the language.
yeah.
Now he's even teaching it.
Really? Oh my goodness.
He developed an app to teach the
Yeah,
Asian language.
really?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Talk
Look at
about
that.
difficulty and
Oh,
crisis, turning it into an advantage.
yeah, yeah. There's a saying that goes, whenever life give you lemons, and I
Yes,
always add, I
yes,
always say, go find some sugar and make
yes,
lemonade, right?
yes, yes. Make lemonade out of it.
Yeah,
But
make
but
lemonade
but
out of it.
you have to be careful. You don't go negative when it
Yeah.
happens, which is very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's hard not to get into the why me? Why did this
Yes,
happen to
yes,
me? It's
yes,
hard not to get into the
yes,
blame. And
yes.
again, we're not saying not to hold certain situations. Something else is obviously the cause of it. But what you do in the midst of it is what really matters most in your life. Ultimately, what you do is what's going to matter most in your life.
Hmm.
Other things you can't change,
You
but what
can.
you do with what you're given,
Hmm.
it's what really ultimately matters,
Hmm. Hmm.
and how you look at it.
Hmm.
Because honestly, if you looked at the immigration coming, taking, if you'd have looked at it, all that in such a negative, which I know it was hurtful, I know it was hard, I know it was, the unknown, I know it was
Yes,
scary, I know
yes,
all of that. But if
yes.
you would have just looked at it and for all the bad, you
Hmm.
would have probably missed out on the bigger blessing.
Yes, the
Uh,
bigger blessing.
the bigger, you wouldn't even be able to be like really like notice it. Instead you'd just be like, yeah, I know they learned the language, but still. So it's wonderful that it really life oftentimes is truly how we look at it.
It's like how we take it, how we look at it.
Yeah. And again, I'm not dismissing tragedies. God knows.
We are not
I'm
we are not minimizing personal
no,
challenges,
no,
but
no.
I'm saying, hey, do as much as you can to
Yeah.
look at the bright side.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to miss that opportunity
Yeah. Yeah.
because opportunity doesn't come in nice and beautiful. It comes,
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah. Sometimes, I was gonna say sometimes it come messy, doesn't it? Sometimes
Yes,
it come
yes,
messy. You know, you gotta, you gotta wash it off and wipe it a little bit, rinse it into some
yes,
water and let it
yes.
dry in the sun. But Doc, there's a beautiful power in positivity,
Mm.
and you exude that.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is beautiful, and you have such an amazing energy, and you're always speaking positivity over any situation. You tend to find,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you take a moment, kind of assess some
yeah,
things,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then you will extract the positive out of it,
yeah.
and I so
Yes.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I tell people that's my default setting. My brain is.
But that's what I believe keeps you so joyful. Because you are full of joy all the time. And I know you have your bad days, but
I have my
what,
bad days,
yeah,
but I think about it and I snap out of it.
yeah, snap
I know
out
it's
of
not
it.
easy. Again,
Yeah,
people in mental health maybe
yeah,
watching this video. We are not minimizing anything.
yeah.
There are some situations where you seek professional help,
Mm-hmm.
mental health. Uh,
Yeah.
no shame. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's important.
Mhm,
Yeah, that's
mhm,
important. That's important. But,
mhm.
but then there are other times where you just really having a crappy day, or you
Yes.
may have a
Yes.
crappy set of circumstances.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you need to hear
Yes.
a word of positivity, that's
Mhm.
what this video is for, to
Yes.
tell you that
Yes.
you can do it, you can make it,
Mm-hmm.
find your tribe, find the
Hmm.
positivity in
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to look for it. It
Yeah.
doesn't always just show up at your doorstep.
No.
Sometimes you
No.
got to look for it. My grandmother used to say things like, when I look back over my life, and when she think about how far she came,
Hmm.
she had something to be thankful for. I have grown up knowing and understanding that. My father passed that torch on to me as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Babe, you have to be thankful in all things.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
even in my darkest of days, I find a way to say thank you.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you very much. I
absolutely.
appreciate that. Mhm.
Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna go to our next. So some people come through adversity stronger and better,
Mhm.
and others are completely swept under by the challenges in their lives.
Mhm.
How can one remain motivated, right? So we're talking about the gratitude and remaining positive, even when in the middle of their storm, though. So you're in the middle of the storm now. How can you still remain motivated in the midst of it all? Of hell breaking out all around you, right? How can someone still remain grounded and try to remain motivated in the midst of a storm?
Hmm. Well, it's possible. You know, it's possible. God is trying to really shake me out of my comfort
Yeah.
zone.
Mm,
Possible.
mm,
It's
mhm.
possible that I have been. I really need to change, but I have been feeling comfortable. Is
Mhm.
comfort zone is comfy, and sometimes the God will shake things up.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's how that's what I think.
Yeah.
I you know so God will shake
Yeah.
things up, and if you just go with the flow, you know
Mhm.
He's probably trying to redirect you
Mhm.
for something better and bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's how
believe you.
I approach it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. No,
it,
I can see that, sir.
yeah, these difficult times I'm going through,
Mhm.
I don't know, but I don't know what the plan is,
Mhm.
but I know something better,
Mhm.
something bigger will come out of this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, isn't that how life is though? Sometimes we are in the middle of, like we saying, like turbulent times,
Yes.
and we don't have any control. We have
Hmm.
no control. Only control we have maybe is of ourselves.
Hmm. Hmm.
And otherwise, it's just crazy all around us,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important for us to find a sense of peace within ourselves, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what's going on, um,
Mm-hmm.
because this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
It will stop
It
at
will.
some
Yeah.
point. The ride is going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when we, during that time, I believe we, as scary as it may be, we should start reflecting and thinking
Yes.
about,
Yes.
again, being grateful and thankful for what we still have, the
Mm-hmm.
pieces, the broken piece of whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
because when it all stops, we got to start again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We got
And
to start again.
if we have to cry, we can cry. We
Yeah,
can shed tears during
yeah,
those turbulent times. It's
hmm,
okay. It's
hmm,
okay. Mm.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
And the men who are watching this, it's okay for men to cry. It's
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, yeah, because listen, sir, we don't have it all figured out. None of us do. Men, women, old, young.
But we were raised to,
Yeah,
men don't cry.
yeah,
Be a man.
yeah. Oh,
It's more
that's a whole
difficult.
other story, sir.
It's more difficult for us because I watch my wife. She would just pick up the phone and reach out to somebody,
Yeah,
and they're talking about it. Talking
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
And we are kind of macho. Nah, it's all right.
yeah,
It's all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm all right.
And you're not all right at
No.
all.
Uh,
Now, well, I mean, I have to ask, because you're right. There's some men going to listen to this. Hopefully, they'll hear it all the way down 30 minutes
yeah.
later. But why do you think that is? Like, in truth, like, men. I'm definitely not jumping on the men tonight, but it should be okay for men to express that they're not okay. And I'm talking about in a healthy way. I think being able to cry it out at some point or to be able to shed a tear is more healthy than having an outburst and becoming, violent and enraged,
Yes.
right?
And end up in
So
prison and end up, yeah.
exactly. Exactly. All because you didn't cry. Now we have a police record,
Yes, yes.
Yeah. It's funny, but it's sad. Sir, we got to do better. We do. We do. I mean, how did we get here with that? I mean, you're a man. I'm obviously not. How did we get here with that, sir?
Well, it's how we were socialized,
Yeah. Yeah.
how we were brought up.
Yeah.
Man,
Meaning, don't show any emotion.
yes, man, don't cry.
And
What's this?
never ask for directions. You
That's
know
right.
exactly where you're going.
Yes, man, don't cry.
Which is so far from the truth. So far from the truth.
So, hey, the men who are watching and listening, it's all right. It's okay. You have to shed some tears. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it in front of your wife. Do it in front of your children, especially
Yeah.
children. Let them
Especially
see
children.
you cry.
Yeah.
Let them see it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I think you're right about that. Children need to know how to process emotions.
Yes.
They need to see emotions expressed and not just anger or frustration, but they need to see the softer side of an emotion. Yeah. Yeah. I like that, sir. I like that. So you do have a passion and love for children. I know that you
Yes.
are a professor. So
Yes.
tell me, like, when what is I mean, I know you have many, many dreams and visions and thoughts and wishes for children. But if you could just share, one of your greatest heart's desires for children, can you tell me what that is?
Oh, my biggest desire for children is to have mom and dad, to be present.
Yeah.
Mom and dad to be present. Forget about buying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about stuff. It's about getting down on the floor and and playing with them and telling stories and telling them, hey, mom and dad, we don't have money for that right now. But this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
this is how we are going to manage without it. You
Mhm.
know, the children, they love that.
Mhm.
When I look back in my background in growing up in my African village, we didn't have all these luxuries that I see here,
Mhm.
but I felt the love of my parents, my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Mm. So I didn't feel poor. I didn't feel poor. I
Mhm.
felt rich, you know, because mom and dad were there, you know. So that's my biggest wish
Mhm.
for all children,
Yeah. Yeah.
because this man that is here is a mama's boy, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of it. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for that, you know, I don't know what
Mhm.
I would have become
Mhm.
without the devotion of my mom and my dad. And, you know,
Mhm.
it's not the stuff. Mm-mm. It's not the
Yeah.
stuff. Forget about the stuff. We think we have to buy this stuff. We have to buy expensive shoes, expensive clothes. No.
Mhm.
When I was raising my children, I was a poor student. I didn't have money to go to department stores. I was going to Salvation Army.
Yeah.
I went there, dude. I was,
Yeah.
that's. But I spent some money on books and paying for tutors. You
Mhm.
know, that's what I spent my money on.
Mhm.
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
And you know, I have two lawyers today and a CPA.
Yeah.
So it's not the stuff. It's not the material
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my wish for all children.
Yeah.
Mom and dad that are devoted to them.
Mhm.
They know that.
Love it.
Yeah. So
I love it. I absolutely love it.
thank
You
you.
know, you know, my children are grown now, sir.
Yes. 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 Yes.
You
Yes.
remember they were a little younger, but they're grown now.
Yes.
And they're still finding themselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
And believe me, I'm still helping them to search for themselves.
Yes. 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 It never ends.
It never ends. It
Yes.
never, never, never ends.
Being a
But
parent.
but it's so so important to be present for our
Mhm.
children.
Mhm. To be
I
present.
learn now that now that they're older. I learn spaces that I couldn't feel. I didn't feel. You know, I was a single mom, but it allows me now, they're adults now, to talk about it, to get a
Mhm.
better understanding, to
Mhm.
share, and to be present more now as an
Mhm.
adult to adults.
Mhm.
Um, so it's so important for parents to be there. I look back and I hear it when I talk to them. I mean, we have a very good relationship, and I
Mhm.
always ask the tough questions. I ask the
Mhm.
questions that I want them to show me me. I want them to show me mom.
Yes.
Tell me your experience with mom. This way, I can help the next generation.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have a grandbaby. I can help my
Yes.
grandbaby. You
Yes.
know?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm a grandmama now, sir.
Yes.
I never thought I'd be saying that at this age. I don't know.
It's all good.
Yeah, I am. So now that we talked about the children, before we wrap up, I want you to share like a motivated message to the listeners, to those that are, that's listening. Monday motivation, or I'm motivating Monday conversations. And they're tuning in. They're looking for
Mhm.
something to get them through. If you could
Yes.
just share, that would be great.
Do you like crabs? Do you
Do
like?
I used to love crabs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love crabs.
Hmm.
Each time I go to the restaurant for dinner, that's what I look for. Crab cakes. I love it.
Uh-huh.
I just love dipping it in that sauce. Squeeze a little lemon on it. Just I love it. Oh la la. Mm. But there's something that I don't like about crabs. If you put half a dozen crabs in a basin of water, in a bucket of water,
Mm-hmm.
what happens? You see, they are tackling each other.
Mm-hmm.
One gets up and say, you know what? I'm tired of this sitting here in this basin of water. I
Mm-hmm.
want to get out and do something with my life. And one would tackle him and say, where are you going? You're not going anywhere. Get down. Get down. You're not going anywhere. Who do you think you are? Guess what?
What's that?
There are crabs in
Mm.
people too.
Yes.
There
Yes.
are crabs inside all of us.
Mhm.
When you dream, when you say, hey, I want to go back to school and get an education and move up in my career, and one voice says, you can't do it. You don't have
Mhm.
what it takes. That's a crab right there,
Yeah.
tackling you, pulling you down.
Yes. Yes.
That's a crab. Or you tell some of your friends and say, nah, you can't. I
Yeah.
don't think you can do it. Those are crabs.
That's a crab. Yeah.
So we have to be aware of that, not
Yeah.
just outside, you know,
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
That those crabs that try to rob us of our confidence and
Mhm.
self-esteem, and our self-determination.
Yeah.
We have to be aware of the crabs.
Beware.
That's
Beware of the crabs.
yes, that's my crab theory of success and failure. Watch out for the crabs.
They're in the water and their own land. Be careful. They are
Yes.
there. Yeah. And you said something because you're right. Like with your friends, sometimes those crabs can be in the tribe. You don't even realize it. They're in the tribe, and
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
they're
For example, when you wanted to do this,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure there was a voice inside that said,
yeah,
Queenie, are you
yeah,
serious? Yeah.
yeah. Yes, there was. There
You?
was. There was. That imposter syndrome showed up. Like, you're not a podcaster. You're not going to be interviewing amazing people.
Yes, yes, you?
No one's going to really show up. What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard people saying don't do it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They got in my head, sir. They did, but God said something different. God said something different. You got a voice, and I gave it to you. That's what God said. You know?
Thank you.
But I still have to watch out for those crabs, sir. I still.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, Doc, before I let you go, I know that I know you're a professor, of course, you're a storyteller, and I know you're an author. Tell us a little bit about this book that you wrote, and do you have any future books planned out sometime in the near future?
Yes, the first book I wrote is for parents to guide their children to get good education.
Mhm,
It's called the ABC of success
mhm,
in school, and it really guides parents what to do. For example, don't compare. Don't compare one
mhm.
child to the other.
Ooh, wow. That's a big one.
Don't compare.
Ooh,
Compare child A to child A in the past.
yes, yes, yes. So don't say, here, look at your brother. Look what he's
And I
doing.
no. Say
to be more like.
now, say, Queenie, what happened when you were in middle school? Look at your grades.
Yeah.
What happened in high school now? Come on
Wow.
now. You got it. You have what it takes.
Wow.
Don't
Yes.
say, Queenie, look at your brother John. He's just making
Yes.
straight A's. Oh.
Oh, sir, where were you at 20 years ago when I needed this book? Look, I was looking at my oldest son. Saying,
Uh-huh.
your little sister.
Oh man.
Oh my God, that is a huge lesson, sir. That is a huge lesson.
Yes,
That
thank
is
you.
so big when you're saying it. It's like it
Yeah.
makes so much sense.
Mm. So for the future, I like to publish a book on daily wisdom. You know,
Yes,
those 365 days kind of book.
for sure.
Where
Yes,
you
I can
just
see it.
open any book, you say, "Talk to me."
Yeah.
Just open any page, and it will talk to you.
Yes. Oh, I can see you doing that, sir. You do that
Yes,
on Facebook. You do that
yes,
on social
yes.
media. So I can see you doing that for sure. Yeah,
Mm,
I can see you doing that for sure. Definitely let us know whenever that
all right.
drops because
Yes, yes, yes,
so with that being said, like, how can someone follow you to find inspiration
yes,
on social media? You can just tell us. You can say it, and of course I'll plug it
yes,
when I post a YouTube
yes. I'm
video.
on Facebook, Michael I Otaigbe.
Hmm.
If you just look for me, you'll find me. And
Okay.
I also have a page called Dr. Michael Otaigbe Daily Dose of Wisdom.
Okay.
Daily Dose of Wisdom.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay,
you
so
can.
y'all hear that, right?
Mhm,
Michael, Dr. Michael Otaigbe, Daily Dose of Wisdom on
mhm,
Facebook. And
mhm.
of course, you can find him by his name on Facebook as well.
Yes,
And
yes,
you can always go to my page and go through my friend list if you have access to that. And you can
yes.
find Doc on there. But and then of course in this post, you'll be able to see, I'll have him highlighted and you'll be able to find him. I
Mhm,
promise you, if you go I believe every day he drops something, but certainly
mhm,
almost every day he's
mhm,
dropping stories,
mhm,
he's dropping humor,
mhm,
he's dropping quotes to make you think,
mhm.
self-reflection. It's just beautiful. Every time I see a post from y'all, but I stop and read it instead of passing by it. I always know that I'm going to get something for my journey. So I stop and I read it and I chuckle.
Yes.
Dr. Tokay doing his thing.
I have to say the feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
I read your stuff. Yeah, I read your stuff.
Now that I know you're watching, I'll make sure sometimes I go overboard. I'm aware. Sometimes I gotta shake up some things, sir. So you know, but yeah, I'm just glad to be in. I'm glad to be in your presence. I'm thankful for you being part of my tribe and my circle, my extended tribe. I'm so thankful for that. You're not an old man, but I look at you as an elder.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm thankful for my elders. I
Mhm,
honor you all, and I'm so
mhm,
thankful. I don't believe that is pointless. I think
mhm,
that it is intentional and it's purposeful and it's necessary to have elders like yourself
mhm.
anchored in our lives. And so I honor that space and I'm so grateful for it.
Thank you. Thank you. That's an honor. In traditional African society, we we honor elders.
Mhm.
We honor them, and
Yeah,
that's wonderful that you
yeah,
said that.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
We
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how I see you, sir.
Thank
That's
you.
how I see you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
so it's a
Thank
blessing to have you to stop by the relationship zone. Join me on my Monday motivation.
thank you.
It's a blessing to have, your words here with me and I'm able to capture them and
Thank
seal them up for my time capsule. And hopefully one day someone will pick this up in the future and be
you.
like, wow, back in 2021, this is what they were talking about. That is
Yes.
my biggest hope is that,
Oh.
I'm now in someone's life. I seem like an elder, right?
Hmm.
so,
Hmm.
so I
Hmm.
hope that this time capsule that I've been able to create with podcasting is opened in the future
Mm.
for a whole different generation. I'm
Mm.
long gone, and they're
Mhm.
opening like, wow, this is what they were talking about. Because I do believe that these same life struggles we talk about now will
Yes.
still be life
Yes.
struggles 40, 50 years from now. So I believe that we are leaving the blueprint
Mhm.
to how to navigate through life.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you were part of that with me tonight. So thank
Mhm.
you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, to our listeners, again, thank you for saving space with me and sharing space with myself and Dr. Otaigbe. Please go out there and follow him if you need and want any inspiration. If maybe you just want to share it with someone. Trust me, he puts up quotes that you can, save to your phone and share them out in a family text message. They're always positive. They're always fulfilling. They're always encouraging and enlightening. And so, if I was you, I would take it upon myself to find him and share his information, and also tune like connect with him so that when he drops this book that we can use for an entire year, you don't want to miss it. So I know I don't want to miss it. So, sir, I definitely look forward to hearing more about this as you develop it. I'm definitely looking forward to supporting it and bringing it to the Relationship Zone, the podcast. I can maybe every day read a little bit of that to my listeners. So I'm putting some pressure on you. I'm looking forward to it.
No pressure, right?
No pressure, no pressure. So again, everyone, thank you for tuning in to my Monday motivation. We'll see you again.
Yeah.
I think we might have one other Monday to go, and I don't want you to miss that. We have the therapist Sharon Lawrence who's coming to the show, and we're going to be talking, about forgiveness and moving forward, letting go. I mean, all of that good, positive stuff to get you through it. So again, sir, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to the listeners, and I'll see you all next time. Sir, if you can hang tight for a moment, I'm going to let everyone else go. Thank you, everyone.